Matt.
Loading.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, just you let me know, right?
Yep. Still loading. Facebook's a little slow right now. One moment. Okay, redirecting to Facebook now. Okay, we are live.
Hey, everybody. I turned my my computer around. That's where I was earlier. Hope you had a really good time. We had a blast doing that, and we have. I just have a few thoughts before we get going. We have a lot of guests coming by, and more than anything, I just was so grateful just watching that first season again, and just seeing how brilliant. I'm mostly thinking about Jay Elvis doing Tom Servo and Trace Beaulieu doing Crow, how great they were. And we were just figuring out all the nuances of making MST for real, you know, getting paid to do it being on national television or a cable at the time. And I was just so taken with how great those guys are, not just as performers, but as writers. And of course, you know, Kevin Murphy and Jim Mallon and Mike Nelson, all those guys doing support stuff too in our staff. So thank you, Best Brains. And then on the other side, 30 years later, having this MST Livecast come in and see them do so well. I counted the riffs, and it's over 200 riffs they applied into a finished Mystery Science Theater. So it's pretty amazing for me. And I don't feel like they stepped on too many lines. It looked like they did really good. So I'm really impressed, and they'll be coming by later to visit. We also have Felicia Day's coming by. Jonah Ray's gonna be here. Rebecca Hansen is gonna be here. Tim Ryder, and our cast as well. But first we have our moderators who are gonna come on. You guys mind coming on? I'd like to introduce you. We've got Leslie, she did our Facebook feed. Evan Brown did usually is the Mystery Science Tweeter 3000 on Twitter, but he did our Facebook channel, Mystery Science Facebook channel. Thanks, Evan. And
Kev, the YouTube, I did the YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, pardon me. And Kev Smith did, was the moderator on Twitch. So thank you guys. And I wanted to check in with you because you guys were there absorbing all this stuff. What was it like for you? If you want to start, go ahead, Evan. What was it like?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was hard to absorb because there were about 1 million comments going on at a time. It was really fun, very lively, lots of really great riffs, lots of really good comments. Obviously, I couldn't get all of the good ones because there's a lot of funny stuff going on, but I did make note of a few that made me laugh.
It must be like putting your face in a fire hose, right? With all that stuff going on.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
So do you have any favorites that you can relate that came in, and then we'll go around to all the other moderators?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I wrote a few down. At the beginning, Joel, when you were dancing to that very 60s music, Sandra DeHaven asked if it was the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Nice.
So that was a reasonable question. And when the ship was circling the moon, also towards the beginning, the real Manos, which I guess that must be the Master's account, said if they faked the moon landing, it would have looked like this, which I think that's a pretty legit point.
Pretty hip, yeah.
For the conspiracy theorists out there. There was a really good callback. Movie guy 2611 said he tried to kill me with a bulldozer during the scene of the bulldozer attack. I thought that was an excellent callback. And then there was a nice, a very topical one that would not have worked originally, but it's perfect for now. When they were taking their space helmets off, Seth 410 said, "Don't touch your face." Good advice.
Lovely, very good. And Kev Smith, did you get anything off Twitch?
Oh, there was so much on Twitch. It started out with the cartoon. Someone said, "Gee, Disney's animation has really hit rock bottom these days." A bunch of people started calling for Space Force as you start seeing the people coming across the screen after the cartoon. The more ridiculous looking the hats got, people started saying, look, it is the future, ridiculous hats. And just about everyone in the Twitch room started singing monorail, monorail, monorail when you started seeing the moon rovers.
That's awesome. Thanks, man. And then Leslie, Leslie was on the Facebook feed, and these guys will be coming out throughout. These guys will come back and visit throughout with more ideas and more riffs that they're going to be gathering. But Leslie, what did you see? What was happening on your end?
The thing that always blows me away about Misty's is how positive and awesome they are. Like, there was no negativity in this scroll that was endless and unrelenting. It was just awesome, supportive people. I saw just a lot of very funny riffs, but I also collected a few questions and some really, really good shout outs.
Yeah.
So you want to start with a question, maybe?
Yeah, let's do the questions first.
Okay. The first question that I think is important to cover, R.L. Gray asked, so is it GPC now because the original name is considered by many to be kind of problematic?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think when we were getting ready to reboot the show 4 years ago after the Kickstarter, we started to get some messages from people that were pointing out to us that gypsy was considered a racial slur for people who are Romani. And I felt like after 30 years, that's kind of the only time we've been called out. I think our hit rate is pretty good. And so I started to kind of go, okay, well, I don't really, it had a nice long life, but people are offended by it now. No problem. Let's drop it. And so we just made it GPC. So just to so they felt they were listened to in it. And I think people really appreciated it. And it was easy to do and it made sense. So we're happy to do it.
Very cool. Second important question is Matthew Shayet, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, wants to know, does this make Emily the first official female host of MST3K?
I think it does. By my count, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. I have a few shout outs that I did want to make sure I hit. Michelle Renee says, thank you for having this live riff off. I've always loved the show and now I watch with my son. I work in healthcare and it has been a stressful time. Thank you for a fun evening. Shannon P. Meehan says, my wife is an ICU nurse in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and she works hard helping others through this pandemic at the hospital while I watch MST3K episodes with my 3 sons. We love it. Wow. Another one from Joe Cook wants to say, shout out to all my friends out on the Navajo reservation. Our family lived there for 4 years. They are being absolutely hammered by COVID-19. A couple of friends of mine work in healthcare out there and are giving dialysis to COVID patients. Very high risk. And I think that's important to remember.
Really, that's really important. We really appreciate that. That's important. Thank you. Hey, you guys, thanks so much. You guys, I'm looking at the clock and we agreed at 8:12 we'd roll over a new cast or a new group of people for the talk. I think, let's see. So I guess if you don't mind, Evan and Kev are going to take off and come back later on your schedule. And right now we're waiting on Felicia, Nate, and Matt McGinnis are going to drop in to talk. Matt's one of our producers, as well as Nate Beagle. They produced this event. So let's give them a huge round of applause, as well as Cheryl Volpe, who's going to come on later. And let's see who else is coming. Felicia, Nate, Matt, and Leslie. So as those guys come along. So Matt,
hello.
Matt, hey, hi, Felicia. I see her name.
Hello.
Hey, hi. How's it going?
I'm just sitting in my yard playing some Animal Crossing.
Right on. Lovely. Great. And
woo!
We're just, there's Nate Beagle right now.
There he is. Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Nate.
I had to put the puppet down and change move the camera.
Yeah, it looks pretty cozy, man.
Joel was like, so yeah, we want to talk to you. We don't want to talk to Crow anymore. And I'm like, oh God, I have to reset up my whole little, little setup.
Crow. No more.
Hey, I wanted to,
No more.
I wanted to ask Felicia, because she's in a unique position. She's a mom with a pretty young kid. And when I got 2 kids, and when you got kids that age, part of the deal is doing a bunch of stuff with them out. So how are you swinging with it? Like, what do you do?
Oh, quarantine?
Yeah.
You know, I just order a lot of things on the internet to get delivered here to do. I do some online classes. She has her dance class, and she used to not see any TV shows, but now I've just broken that rule. So she watches Daniel Tiger and Sesame Street, which I'm like, she's not going to be a serial killer because of those.
No,
and
but
At
Yeah.
least she's watching Daniel Tiger and not Tiger King.
Yeah, that's
that
You know what I mean?
that
Could-
I was going to get those mixed up, but the good thing is, yeah, I didn't.
Hey, you
Daniel
watch-
Tiger King.
if I'm not mistaken, you watched a shitload of TV back in the day, and it didn't hurt you.
Wait, can you
You
curse
know-
on Facebook?
Oh, sorry, pardon me.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa, I'm sorry,
The stream
children.
is.
Sorry, children.
sorry,
Joel is
children.
he's a
Pardon.
maniac.
I thought it was late night on Facebook. Pardon me.
Can't look, and she left. Like Felicia
Wait,
left.
Oh
because-
no.
See what you did, Joel?
No, something happened. I've never used Zoom on my phone before. So my internet line literally went out today, and they were supposed to be here a little bit earlier, and so it's fine. Wi-Fi, the phone
Right.
lines work, guys.
All right, good. Well, thank you for coming by. We really appreciate it.
Oh,
Did
of
you get to
course.
watch the riff?
I watched a little bit, but then I have babies, so it's a little hard. But you guys are awesome. It's so exciting to see you live. I haven't seen you in so long. I got a little nostalgic.
Oh my goodness, I know. Well, thank you so much. We had so much fun making the return, and what was the next one? The Quagmire? No, it was
Yep.
Gauntlet?
No, the gauntlet.
The Gauntlet. That's right. So thank you.
Was the Quagmire like on the list of like titles that got mixed?
That's the
for it?
next. Yeah, that's the next
Hopefully-
one. The
Hopefully that's-
quarantine.
Yeah.
Quarantine Mire. The quarantine Mire will be
There was
like
the-
next
there was
season.
The levy we were gonna do, the levy,
That's right.
the dump.
I was just going to explain that Nate and Matt are the ones who really produced the event and figured out how we could do this. So you guys did a brilliant job kind of shepherding this along. So thank you.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, you
thank
guys.
so much.
Live
Oh, thank
streaming
you
is never
so-
easy. So,
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was. It's funny. This is definitely a live stream in the breadth of scale that we tried to do. This live stream is something that has not really been done before. So it was a really massive learning experience for all of us, for sure. And yeah, it was great. I mean, we love doing it so much, but it was really a fascinating undertaking to try to do, to get all of us in 6 to 7 different places to all watch the same movie at the same time, and really to have it all kind of sync up. It was quite the adventure, but it all
yeah,
worked out great.
it's once you learn, I mean, I've been live streaming for many, many years. And so once you learn, it's almost like you have to learn a new language, but then when you get it, you're like, oh, I'm so much better than other people.
Well, my hat goes off. My figurative hat goes off to Nate, who is really blurry right now.
Am I blurry? Oh, it's because I
Run
moved.
out of
Oh,
focus
There
Whoa,
we go.
whoa.
For
You okay,
not
dude?
only producing
it's been a
this
long night.
but playing Crow tonight as well, and doing
Amazing.
an incredible job at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how
very
you
much.
multitask that. That's a little bit too much juggling for me, and I can't even juggle. So
That's the perfect thing to learn in quarantine, Felicia, is juggling.
no, I can't tell whether I think juggling is sexy or a complete turnoff. It go back and forth. It's hot and cold for me.
Can it be both? Can it?
Well,
just-
what if it's
Maybe,
fire?
yeah.
Fire's pretty sexy if you can do that.
Oh yeah,
What-
juggling fire. Oh,
Juggling
speaking
fire,
of
yeah,
which,
that-
So
because
forbidden.
doesn't that reminds me, in the doorway sequence, isn't the fire bits in the doorway sequence your juggling pins?
Those are Dubay. I can't remember if they're mine or Trace's Dubay juggling clubs. We both had them. But if you look at them really close, Dubay, when we shot this in like early 90s, Dubay was the state of the art for juggling clubs. And it just kind of profiles both Trace and I that we were real huge nerds. We both had Dubay juggling fire clubs.
Yeah, but I feel like that's you could make it sexy, Joel.
Thanks.
Oh, excuse me.
honk,
Somebody-
honk if Joel's sexy.
Somebody's dropping something off.
about
Yeah,
juggling.
Somebody's
exactly.
watching Facebook while driving.
I don't know why people are driving. I go out of my house and I'm just like, who are these people and where are they going and why can't I go with them?
That's good.
Where
Well,
they go.
and you're, I mean, LA and California is doing really good with the coronavirus for such a big state. They're really.
I know it's like the
doing
number
great.
it's basically the numbers keep rising despite everything. And it's like the number 2 behind San Francisco, I think, of the number of people. So it's great. We're not breaking the curve right now. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's pretty amazing because
And the sun is still shining. She still has sun.
I mean, that's why we live here. It's beautiful. Look, it's 77. It's just gorgeous. That's why we live here, because nothing else is really that appealing.
Mhm. That's great. Let's sound off where we all are. Nate's in Florida, Matt's in Philly. Leslie, are you in the East Coast too?
The beautiful city of Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, that's right. That's good. I'm
Hi,
outside
Leslie.
of Philly.
Hi.
I'm outside
I
of
love your
Philly.
glasses.
Thank you. I love your background of beautiful garden. I'm dying for it.
I mean, I just have to show off California. I have to show off the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
look,
groomed in a long time, so I have to let the background speak for me.
Mhm. All right, great. And so what I'd like to do now is we've been through kind of the technical stuff. We visited about LA, checked in with Felicia. And did you have any more riffs or tributes that came in, Leslie, that we could talk about?
I do. I have a very important question from Matthew Hill, who wants to know if Gypsy is single and how does she feel about human-robot relationships?
Oh
cow.
my! Somebody
Ew.
watched Solo and is doing a little Lando with the Millennium Falcon business.
We'll get GPC to get back to Matthew.
goodness.
Hill
I
on
can't
that.
speak for her, but we did develop the new GPC, so she could be a lot smaller, and that really helped this time around because I wanted to change her scale. She was always so big. Rebecca Hansen will be on later. She's did GPC on the Return and the Gauntlet, and she came out on the road with us and did GPC, and it was such a giant puppet. It's so big that for the live tour this time, I wanted to make her a lot smaller. So she was more in the scale of Tom and Crow. And because of it, we got to use her in so many things. And when it hit me that we should do this event, I went to the warehouse space and was able to grab each puppet, throw it in a bin, and just ship it out that day. But I couldn't have done that with GPC because she would have been in a giant anvil case. So that was another nice thing, and another benefit of making her smaller and more portable, that she could be in on this. And now you're seeing she's riffing now with Tom and Crow. So
Amazing.
we're trying to move her game up a little bit. So I guess dating is next.
More GPC.
It's the next logical step.
It's the
Really.
next level for
30,
her.
it's time.
I don't think she'd be prejudiced about interspecies or inter-creation relationships, right?
Yeah.
She's open-minded. Yeah.
She's an
hopefully.
open-minded person. She's fully functional in all ways. So yeah, it's fine.
I think so. Let me just billboard
It's canon.
that
You heard
is-
it here.
Now it's canon.
Now it's canon officially.
Do people ask you that a lot? Like, I get that all the time. Is this canon? Someone asked me, was the first season we did at KTMA canon? And it's not, because we reused all those movies and reused all those jokes. So it's kind of like not canon. So who's ever on IMDb isn't doing us any favors. They're like claiming that that KTMA is the first season, and it's not. So I
Ooh.
don't know, how do
okay.
we fix that? How can you
Somebody
fix
go
that?
on there. IMDb people are terrible. Just go be
Is
terrible
that
with them.
guy?
It
Like,
must
come
be
on.
Don't be
Attack.
this
Nick.
terrible.
Attack.
Occupy IMDb.
We have to get to the bottom of it, I think. I'm going to roll over, you guys, and we got some more people coming in that are on deck, I believe. I think Connor's coming on.
Oh no!
Tim Ryder and
I don't know if Facebook's
Kev
ready for
Smith.
this.
Kev
I don't know if
Smith.
Facebook's ready for the
here.
McGiffin.
It says here 8:24, and we're really close from what I could tell. So thank you guys. Thanks for showing up, Felicia. You're the best.
You're the best.
making
Thank
the
you so much
scene.
for
Nice
letting me
to
do
meet
that.
you.
It's
Of course.
awesome. She's a wonderful character, and I just so love playing her. So
Oh my
thank you.
God.
You're
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
We love you,
Thank you.
Felicia.
Nate,
All
see
right,
you, man.
bye.
See you on the flip flop. Matt, I know
Thank you,
you're
sir.
in the background. See you, Leslie. I know you're coming back later, so thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for
Bye.
sure. So now, let's see. I wanted to bring out Kev Smith and see if he's got any more stuff. If you're listening, Kev, I don't know if, oh, there you are, man. How's it going?
Good, good.
Good. Were you able to dig out any more stuff that we need to talk about that was on Twitch?
Just a few more riffs, that some really good ones I liked. Regarding the space battle and all the guys running around the spacesuits. What was it? Didi Juvets said, "Try the new Bic Pin fashion suit." And the more you look at it, the more I'm just like, "Oh God, that is the Bic guy holding the thing."
Oh my God, that's right. I didn't think of that. That's great. And the other thing I want to say is Kev Smith does MST Motivation for these last few years. So thanks for doing that, man. If you see MST Motivation on the, you know, on the online stuff, that's Kev. So and then anything else going on, man? Any tribute? Did any tribute? Twitch doesn't seem to be the kind of thing that people would throw out tributes. Was there anybody in the medical profession on Twitch that said anything?
Not that I saw, no.
Yeah. Yeah, we
No.
didn't really do that. We didn't really seed that with Twitch as much. So I just thought there'd be a lot of riffs. So yeah, anything else you got? Yeah.
Marty Feldman eyes after reading all those riffs coming through.
Oh my God. That's great.
Let's see. We've got Blondie O'Toole when the first cosmonaut or astronaut gets killed inside of his suit and he turns around and he's just a skeleton, just says, "He's dead, Jim. He's dead."
Nice. Nice. Evoking Star Trek.
And then I think the one that made me laugh the most is when Kemp is in the bar talking to the lady that has the really outlandish bowl haircut. It was Lady He-Man. And after I saw
Oh
that,
my God.
all I could see was just her raising a sword and saying, "I have power!" It just
That's
ruined it for me
awesome,
for the
man.
next moment.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for that report. I'm going to send you off, man, because we got some more people coming in here. So thanks, man. Cheers. And we'll see you soon. Okay.
Take care. Thank you,
All
guys.
right, thanks. Now we're looking at, I think we're saying Connor McGriffin. I always get his name. No, it's Connor McGiffin. Tim Ryder is coming. This is going to be interesting because
Hello.
there's Connor, man. I mean, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. I
Oh,
watched
that's
it.
Good. That's
I
good. Where are you?
I am in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
That's great. We tried to keep the byline in the show identical.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your real life story, but it's
Mhm.
Tom Servo staying with his girlfriend Lexi and her family, right?
And it's 100% accurate. Yes.
That's awesome. Cool. And also we got Tim Ryder. Tim Ryder's a longtime writer on the show. He worked on The Return and The Gauntlet. He came out with us on the road and did Tom Servo. And he also is a director for us and a writer. He wrote on the shows almost, I think, on every show for our live tour, and he directed the live tour this year. And he's got
What's
experience. Did you
Oh,
not
hi.
hear?
I didn't see you there.
I'll have to say it all over again.
I heard everything. I was doing a bit, Joel.
I know.
I
Hey,
was doing a classic one-man show bit.
so I guess what I'd really like to do is hear what it's like for you guys to do Tom Servo.
Well,
What's it like when you're Tom Servo? Like, what do you change personally at all?
I mean, I don't know what it's like for Tim, but for myself, I feel so much more important as Tom Servo than I am in myself in real life. I feel like as Tom Servo, I can make a difference.
It's true. Like, I've never smoked a cigar in real life, but as Tom Servo, I feel like I've smoked several.
Yeah, right. That's good.
Only Cubans, though. He's very exacting.
The finest. Or a box that someone told him was Cuban.
Yes.
That's great.
100%.
That's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah,
Sure.
you just get a lot more erudite. Some would say pretentious.
Sure.
But just a little more, he's much more confident than I am in real life. That's very true.
100%. 100%.
Hmm.
I wish I had Tom's confidence.
That's great. And also, Tim is married to Rebecca Hansen, who's coming on later. She plays Cynthia, and she played GPC on The Return and also on The Gauntlet, and came out with us on the road for the first and second tour. So she's coming up later too. And I'm hoping there's no way Trond is going to come out, right? Because he's going to be too crazy, right?
I don't know if we met Tron's quote.
Oh, right.
That's our
Yeah.
that's
That
our
one's in the money, right?
that's our dog.
Yeah.
He just turned 10 years old. He's a 10-year-old black Labrador retriever, and he has high demands. We'll see if we can get him on.
Right.
Here's the thing: you can coax him very easily with food and/or treats.
That's good. I'm just hoping it'll get our ratings up, because anytime I post pictures of my dog, it's like I get so many hearts. It's incredible.
I've found that to be true. That the internet loves dogs.
That's right. Yeah,
Listen, a 70-year-old diva is hard to control.
that's right.
That's true. Yeah, he's retired now, so he doesn't come out of retirement for just anything.
That's great. And one of the things that did you get to see it, Tim? Did you watch the live feed?
I did, man. It was a real groovy happening.
Thanks. We were really happy with it. It was such a weird idea. And I just kind of felt like it would be something that wouldn't have all the pressure of us riffing an entire movie, because that's a huge undertaking, writing 700 or 800 riffs and practicing it. And I think people have such a high expectation. And I felt like this would be a really good way to trot out the live cast. And they're just so used to, as you know, when you get off the road, Tim, it's like you're really pretty, as an ensemble, you get really good. And so these guys have so much practice. So it seemed like a logical thing for them to do. And it seems like people like the idea. It seemed, so far so good. I haven't gotten to see a lot of stuff because we've been busy all night, but I feel
it was pretty
good
cool.
about
It was like you were standing on the shoulders of giants, but one of those giants was yourself.
Well, like I was saying, I got to remember that. I really like it. What I was saying was earlier is I felt kind of sandwiched between my history, and I really liked it. I really liked it. I really liked the way it felt, just because I was struck at how great that original cast was and how important they were to shaping the show. And the new cast was really nice too, and they were really thoughtful about the original material and just wanted to really respect it. So it was that thing where we're trying to come up right alongside the original show and still kind of participate it. And it also was like a reaction video, it's like them watching it and reacting to it too. So
yeah, it was really cool to hear Josh do Servo again and Trace do Crow, and like it was like passing the baton through time.
Yeah, I think those
That's
shows.
Another tagline. Just feel.
I know you're like a
Yes,
machine.
100%. He is.
Busting out these marketing moves.
I know. Yeah, that's just how I was struck. I was like going, they're so talented, and we were really learning all the finesse moves for getting MST on its feet for a national show. Like we did the show locally, as you know, at KTMA, really figured out a lot of important things. But when we brought it to Comedy Channel, which became Comedy Central, the heat was on and everybody was seeing it, and everybody really stepped up. And it looks very similar to the Mystery Science Theater we know now.
Absolutely.
Except we didn't do as many riffs, and so there was a little room in there to kind of put in more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice of you to leave that space for future casts.
It was very convenient. It was very
I could
convenient.
take credit for that, but I don't think I can. That's
I mean,
good.
I don't know about you, Tim, but I personally bow to the altar of Jay Elvis. So just to get a chance to participate in an episode that he did was an unbelievable experience. And I feel like every Tom has picked up what the foundation that he set for us. Like He's emotional. He's verbose, maybe a slight pretentious, and loves to sing.
For sure. Yeah, you learn very quickly that you're never going to be able to do the character voice as well as you can hear it in your head, because you can hear it so clearly the way Jay Elvis and Kevin and Baron do it, that you have to sort of abandon that and just sort of find your version of Servo and pick up those
Right.
character traits and see what you and your voice can bring to it.
100%.
And then it's so fun, man. Doing those live shows were some of my performing highlights of my life, and I've been doing comedy for a few years now. It's
Mhm.
so fun, and the fans are so great.
I'm amazed by that, Tim, because the first time I ever saw you, you were on stage with Second City, man, in Chicago. You were in Comedy Ground Zero, so
That's
a very nice
true.
compliment.
You were in the audience, and we had no idea, completely unbeknownst to us, you had come to see the show.
Oh my God!
I would have been a lot more nervous if I had known that Joel was in the audience.
We have to tell that story because we were in the Museum of Broadcast in Chicago. Hey, Matt, will you keep an eye on the time for me?
Sure.
I'm worried. I'm worried I'll screw up. Just let me know when our time is up. But we were at the. They were doing an event at the Museum of Broadcast, and Trace Beaulieu was there. Frank Conniff was there, and I was there. And that night we got in the night earlier, and I went down to Second City, and I was kind of like looking for people, you know. And I went to the show, and I saw Tim, and I was like taking mental notes, like, wow, this guy's great. And then the next day we did the event at the Museum of Broadcast in Chicago, and we did a signing. And then I see Tim, and that's when I met you and Rebecca, and I got to hang out with you guys, and we all went out to eat, and we became friends. And because everyone becomes friends with your wife because she's
She's
great.
the best. She's much
so
friendlier
great.
than I am.
She really is, like, and so that's kind of how it started. And so I was really grateful for that too. So it was pretty cool.
It was a set of crazy coincidences. If I think about the number of minor decisions that I could have made just a little bit differently, and none of this would have ever happened, it's
Yeah.
terrifying.
It was slightly weird. Yeah, it was slightly weird. That's good. Great. And I'm keeping an eye on the time. Where are we at, Matt?
Well, we have somebody waiting to join us right
Can you
now.
tell us who?
One Emily Marsh.
Oh, right on. Let's get Emily Marsh in here, and then I think Jonah Ray's coming. Let's bring Emily in. Emily, sign in, please. Emily Marsh. Oh,
Paging Emily Crenshaw. Emily Crenshaw, please come in.
Step to the front and introduce yourself. Hi,
There
Emily.
she is.
There we are.
wow, Emily. Hey, you did
Oh,
so
hey,
good tonight. Thank you.
Stop it, future Joel. This is what past Emily was dreaming of.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, thank you. And man, you must be getting ready to go out disco dancing, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to tear up the town, go to all the restaurants, hug
Oh.
all the people.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
God, it's a pandemic again.
Oh, I'm just going to my laundry room again in the
Oh.
basement.
Yeah.
I forgot.
We have another
Joel,
waiting to join us.
Joel, I'm sorry, you can't bring up disco dancing without us thinking of your role in Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, that's right, man, right? And I did do a little disco dancing tonight on, Moon 02.
Those are some impressive silhouetted moves.
I know. I kind of liked it, and I'm I'm so glad I did that when I was young, and I jumped off the chair, and I didn't hurt.
You got it on
myself.
record.
Yeah,
know,
it's
why
all
couldn't we do
recorded.
that, Joel?
My fine white body was recorded in all its splendor.
The fine
well,
porcelain skin.
My
No,
poor-
no,
That was one of my
white,
favorite
Joel,
riffs
it's white.
was Joel. Yeah, when Emily said even in silhouette, Joel's so very white.
Yes, it's true.
That's a very good joke.
We have another guest waiting to join us, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Who?
Will you please welcome Mr. Jonah Ray to the Zoom?
Ah!
hi, Jonah. He must be really there.
We saw him in stand up.
Oh my God,
He's
where were
so
we? Portland?
tall.
We
Were
were.
we in
We
Portland?
were in Portland.
Why isn't
No,
my
no, no, not in Portland, in Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, we were in
Hey,
Eugene.
man.
You're right.
Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to show up in costume.
I know. I was. Hey, I need to get my sweaty jumpsuit now.
I got my Taurus suit on my shirt. Does that work?
No.
Oh.
Hey, man. Jonah, you're like so creative. I assume you've been doing like, what have you been doing to manage things during the pandemic and being sheltered at home? Like, what do you do to stay creative and stuff? What have you been making?
Just nothing.
Really?
Dude.
I think you're gonna make a song for us tonight.
No, I'll play a song that I won't make one up on the spot.
You'll extrude a song out of your body for us.
You'll improv a fully fledged 10-minute opus.
No, he's doing Every Country as a Monster, man. It's a hit song from MST3K.
Dude, no, his wife is performing works of art, aka Shakespeare, from their home.
Doing some good stuff. Deanna Rooney's been doing some real good takes on King Lear on our Instagram. I highly recommend it.
It is pretty awesome.
Last one she did was she turned her head into a kitty litter box. So let's just say it's a modern interpretation.
Taming of the Pooh.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's move on. I did the Shakespeare reference.
Yeah, poop jokes.
That's Shakespeare, right?
Oh man, Poop
Totally.
joke- I don't know. This is
All
not classy.
Good, man. So anyway, when are you going to bring out the guitar? Do we work up to that? Where is it? Let's do it.
I thought we were gonna like at least have dinner before you.
Is it?
I if you want me to do it now, I can do it now.
I think it'd be good to do now. And
Is it
I think we're gonna have to. Tim, you gotta go, so we gotta make room for the next people. Tim,
It's too many faces. I gotta go. Jonah,
dear.
do the
Don't
big.
go, no!
you're gonna
No,
get
it's okay.
shy.
Bye, everybody. Jonah, do the big finale first. Love you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Get your wife ready.
Tim was right. It is a real groovy.
Do I have to get kicked out as well?
I think so, man. You should hit the road.
No, Connor, no!
All right. Mwah. I love you. Thank
Bye.
you all so
Thanks,
much. This
Connor.
was
Rave
amazing.
on. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Great. Now that they're gone, it's just
Now
the
we can really talk. Okay, I just did that to make them go.
being
Yeah.
the pressure. No one knows. No one knows about the pressure that we have.
Dude, it's so much pressure. It's crazy.
It's crazy amounts of pressure. And I'm talking, we're 3 of the 4 people that know, that get it.
Mhm.
True,
But
man.
here's the
You're
thing.
the face. You're the face of it.
But here's the thing, Jonah, do you think Joel should leave? Because I think he doesn't know the pressure because he originated it.
He doesn't know. He's
I
set up
designed it for my
pressure.
personality.
Exactly. He set it up. He set up that Midwestern deadpan that we all have to live up to now.
Papa Bear's got to go get some cigarettes right now so we can just be ourselves.
Daddy's I do have a meeting at 9:30. Some of the neighbor guys and I get together, but we sit really far away from each other and have a scotch. That's
That's
coming-
nice.
That's at 9:30.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tonight.
Drink scotch and talk about cigars and stocks.
It's my reward when we get done.
Nice.
That's what I got going. But it's true. Like, I do want to talk about being the host because people don't realize it. Like during this show, Moon 02, we're doing that sketch where we're like naming all the games of the future. And I realized like I screwed up a line and Josh came in, Jay Elvis came in and kind of reminded me of what it was. It was like I said something about the mice, all the mice will be used for laboratory testing. And I forgot to say mousetrap. And he came in with mousetrap and I go, how did I forget that? And I go, oh, that's right. They're sitting there looking at a script the whole time and I got to memorize it and I have to like kind of emote for them. So you're always at a little bit of a disadvantage, I think, right?
A
When
bit.
you're doing it because you know what I mean? Just as far as you're the face. So I always think that's a little weird.
It is, and not to get too highfalutin about the work, but it's like it is kind of a process of a good performer listens, and so you kind of have to listen, but you have to do the bad part of performing, which is like you said, emoting for the other person during their lines, and so you want to like realistically like be paying attention, but you're just kind of going like, it is weird what he's saying.
No, it's so true. I think, Joel, you even said this one time. You're like, because they are just pieces of plastic. I'm so sorry that they aren't.
Somebody wants to date GPC, by the way, so we got to knock that off.
Well, that's a choice.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
everybody, we don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but saying they are pieces of plastic, and it is funny to be like, they don't have to worry where their eyeballs look. That last one, I was like, just looking at where my eyeballs were looking the whole time. It's so inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, all your face parts to make sure they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're twice as complicated as Crow is. You know, at least easy.
Easy. But just twice.
Well, I gotta give props to to Jonah, because when we were shooting, well, especially the return, because we were doing so many shows so quickly, and he had so many props. Like when we did the live show, Emily, we really had time to figure them out and get good with them, but Jonah just had to learn them so quickly and move to the next one. Like, how many takes did you feel like you got? Is it like 3 takes?
Sometimes it's like something other than me went terribly wrong if we had to do 3 takes. But I remember it was always just like this, like, what's the next bit? And then Joel, who's been doing, sleight of hand and magic stuff for decades, like, is just going, it's just one of those things where you kind of just get that, and then you do the little high with your hand, and then it's done. And like, I'm like, I don't know that. I don't know these sleight of hand moves.
Man, you're one of the best I've ever seen. I worked with a lot of people and taught a lot of people how to do magic and prop stuff, and you're one of the best I've ever seen. You're like so fast at learning it. So
put
that away.
I always want to
put that away, and let's hear the song now. We've talked enough. Come on.
This is an acoustic version of Every Country Has a Monster. So it doesn't have some of the verses. Does that sound okay?
I wish I had my lighter.
Yeah, we should bring it out. All right. There's a lot of words and it's a lot of breath. So, ready? Joel, you ready?
Sure.
This is for you.
Thanks, man.
All right. Reptilians is silly, but he really illustrates a great array of monsters all over the place. Not just in Japan, but across the planet. In A to Z, gamut of gargantuan panoply. Example, please name a land, Belize. Easy peasy, maze, easy. And then you can meet El Cadejo in Belize. And you're leaving them, not afraid to say so. In Scotland, Nessie's living up in a lot. Then I'm pulled in a scary scarecrow named a Buck. See, it's not just Godzilla. There's a lot that can kill ya. Cause every country's got a monster, and every monster's got a country. What turned the musketeers' guts to spaghetti? Wasn't it Tibet? Well, I bet he met a Yeti. Australia, there drop bears will impale ya. Then they'll say in Hell Jersey, paraphernalia. Trooper coppers chewing up cattle down in Mexico and Delk. Each horse gored battle in the Navajo. Carlos Catamano is a mongrel flying dino. I don't wanna die, but when I do, he'll be the guy. Oh, 'cause every country's got a monster. Leprechaun. Every monster's got a station they call their home. Every country's got a monster, Corona. And every monster's got a station they call their home. And there's killer shoes in the Lugaroo, Bobby Yaga, Joragumo, and the Mdulu. Now you guys realize the surprising size of all the worldwide Daigaiju, don't you? Cause every country's got a monster, Corona. And every monster's got a station they call their COVID-19. Every monster's got a country, Leprechaun. Every monster's got a station they call their home. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was topical too.
It's topical. See, it has room. My art always has room to evolve, like Joel, like how you can make riffs that have space for generations before.
Yeah, we had a Trump joke in the Moon 02.
But then again, so did Home Alone 2. So I don't know.
Oh, right. I guess we shouldn't be patting ourselves on the back that much. Hey, that's lovely, man. I loved it. And Emily, when we were on the road, we had one show that got canceled because of weather. I was terrified of being in a mountainous region with snow and us driving off the cliff in the night in our bus. And we had one show outside of Seattle. Do you remember the city? It was
Spokane.
Spokane got canceled because of the roads and because of the snow. And we were in Portland an extra day, and Jonah happened to be doing stand-up. So we had the night off. We got to see Jonah do his stand-up, which was so great. And he did that song. And so I really wanted you to do it again. So that was pretty cool though, wasn't it, Emily?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. So watching Jonah do stand-up, that was awesome. Standing next to Jonah and seeing our more than a foot of difference between our heads, now that was an experience.
Yeah. Very large man.
He does
I'm
that
a
to
very
everybody.
small woman.
Yes.
He does that to everybody. He trumps us.
It's
He
usually
trumped us with his size.
the biggest question. It's like people always go. It's like, wow, you're tall. Like I get that the most when people meet me, and which it makes me feel like I appear normal on screen. So that's
Yeah. You look like you're proportionate. That's what I like about you.
trying to avoid that word.
Wait, what does that mean for me? Because people say when they meet me, they're like, wow, you're small.
That's because I think you're proportionate.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm glad we got that figured out.
I think because you don't look small.
I did a movie where recently for Hulu where me and Felicia Day played a married couple, and like it's like the director kept on texting me about all the problems he had with the framing. I'm like trying to get us in the same.
Hey, that's a huge thing. Like a lot of directors, you just look at headshots and go, "Oh, these people would look good together," but then you put them together scale wise, and it can be way off. So it's a really easy thing to do. You just go, "Oh, he looks right, she looks right," you know.
Yeah.
So that's what Apple crates are for.
Yeah, I once lost a role on Silicon Valley because Mike Judge and Kumail told me this. He said he's like Mike he needs it to be a smaller guy. He says you're just too tall.
Oh,
it's okay. Hey. Movie magic. We could do it like the Hobbits. And then he was just like he's just not budging. He just a really short guy. And I was like, oh, right on. I was like, well, tell him that John Lithgow, John Cusack, Tim Robbins, they're all the same height as me.
Yeah, those big men.
That's big men.
Big men on screen.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to say goodbye to you guys because I think we only got 10 minutes left, right, Matt? Or we got people waiting?
We do. We have two special guests waiting. Yvonne Fries and Rebecca Hansen will be joining us.
All right. Well, let me say goodbye to Jonah and Emily, and thank you guys so much. I'm so glad to get to talk to you about hosting MST3K together. And thanks again, Jonah, for doing the song. It was so great.
Thanks, Joel. Nice to see you again, Emily.
I know. Good to see you again too, Jonah.
Sorry.
Bye, Joel.
See ya, Emily. Talk to you soon. See you.
Bye.
Guys.
What was that? Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So long.
All right.
And Leslie.
All right. So yeah, we got we're getting to the end of the show, and this is really special because we have Rebecca Hansen, who plays GPC and did it in the Return and did it in the Gauntlet, and she did it on tour with us, and she plays Cynthia. And then we've also got Yvonne Fries, and she plays Mega Cynthia, and she does GPC. She did GPC on the last tour, and I wanted those guys to meet. And I know Yvonne has been really anxious to meet Rebecca, so I'd love to bring those guys out to end the show for us. If you're hello, oh, and Leslie Kinzel's here. There's what? Yeah, what do you got with you? Is that the dog? What? I can't see what's going on, Rebecca.
Are you talking about this, Joel? Hi, Joel.
Oh, I
Hi,
thought
everybody.
that was Trond.
Yep, this is my dog, Trond, everybody. This is my black lab. Don't you love him?
She's so cute.
He's such a baby.
Yeah.
Leslie, hi. Yvonne, hi. Joel, hi.
Hi, Joel.
Also, Leslie.
Tim doesn't talk to me, so I'm so happy to talk to people.
Also, Leslie came by. Leslie, I just want to check in with you before we close. Did you get any more updates or anything you want to share before we go?
Yeah, I have a couple things. Do you want me to run?
Yeah,
through
why
them?
don't you do it, and then we'll just get these guys jaw, and I want to hear what they have to say. But yeah, let's hear. I'd love to hear some more stuff that came in on Facebook.
Bill Quinn wants to ask that we please sell both the Cheesy Movie Circus Tour movies on DVD. Please.
Wow.
Some we're working on it. Maybe not, why DVD though? That seems weird. I mean, wouldn't be happy to watch them some other way.
Some people still like physical media.
All right. Well, that's cool. I get it. I get what he's saying. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, that's cool.
Also,
Lovely.
I got him for you for 2 seconds.
Look who's here.
Oh, wait, we got to say
All right, it's a quick hi bye with this guy.
Our ratings just went through the roof.
Ratings are
Tron.
blowing up. He had to see you, Joel. He misses you, Joel.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
All right, thanks. Bye, Tron. Bye, Tim.
Yeah,
All right.
go ahead, Leslie. What else are you going
Bye,
to say?
Leslie.
Yeah.
Two more quick ones. Casey Killingsworth wants to know, is anyone else hoping for more of these riff-along specials in the not too distant future if this crew can keep putting them together?
Oh, that's really nice. We'll have to go back and see, this was truly just a labor of love for us. We had a chance to do it because we had the time to do it and we wanted to get it on its feet and try it. And we'll just have to look at it and kind of figure out, just how many people watched and see if we could do more of them. I think that's the big thing, but we would love to do them again. We were really happy doing them. So thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I have one more bright spot to end my little bit on. Barbara Barnett says, I work in mental health care and know there's a lot of anxiety out there. MST3K has been a welcome way for my family to laugh on days that are tough. Be good to yourself and know you're not alone. And don't be afraid to reach out for professional help. You deserve it.
Wow, that's lovely. Thanks.
Yes.
And thanks, Leslie, so much for doing, minding the herd on Facebook and all your help. Leslie also has been a producer and a writer on MST for The Return and The Gauntlet. So thank you for that too. Great to see
The
you.
upcoming Quagmire.
Yes.
And the upcoming Quagmire. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Leslie.
Bye, guys.
All right. So now I wanted to introduce Yvonne to Rebecca because I know that Yvonne has been anxious to meet you, Rebecca, and everyone wants to meet Rebecca because she's so great.
Oh, Joel. Oh, you.
Mhm.
You're so great. Hi, Yvonne. It's nice. We've messaged each other, but this is our first face-to-face.
Yeah.
Can we call it that?
Yeah, because we didn't have an LA show. So yeah, this is our first face-to-face, real face-to-face.
We have real faces, everyone.
Real faces.
Well,
this
also-
is real.
And they kind of look like Mary Jo sometimes, and then they kind of look like us.
Yeah. There is a physical resemblance, and when with the right makeup, absolutely. And
Mhm.
also the other thing
Makeup?
is Rebecca.
No.
Rebecca's done. Yvonne has done a lot of suit work, puppet work. She's a dinosaur at the Science Museum, and
Oh.
Rebecca's also done some suit work too,
Yes.
as one of the Berenstain Bears at Valley Fair, right?
At Valley Fair, where you used to work too, Joel. at
Yeah, I
one
used to
point in
work there
life.
too. I put people on the what was that thing called? The roller
on the-
coaster,
On a roll, were you on the corkscrew?
the corkscrew. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
you were. Yeah, you were on the corkscrew. I know
I
that.
could not get hired by Valley Fair.
Did you ever go to Valley Fair, Yvonne? Did you ever go?
Yeah, I got to play there once for high school band, and I've auditioned a couple times while I was in college, and they offered me 0 jobs.
I didn't get a gig. I didn't get a gig there either as a performer. I tried to do my comedy magic.
tried.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
I think the only reason I did is because I was in a bodysuit and I couldn't talk and I couldn't. They couldn't see me. It was just a lot of.
Nice.
I was Sister Bear, unless Carol was working, and then I was Brother Bear because Carol was shorter than me.
yeah,
and
I'm
Sister always has to be the shortest. So
nice. Yeah, I'm
um,
too tall for the.
you could be Papa or Colonel Umpapa.
Yeah, but they don't like to expand their minds.
Also, I don't.
That's
think,
why I'm a dinosaur.
I don't think Bear Country's even in Valley Fair anymore. Sadly, I think
It's
Bear
not.
Country's long gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Good. Well, the one thing I wanted to mention, and this kind of the evolution of GPC had a lot to do with Rebecca, because Rebecca did GPC on the road, and she also the second tour you had to break down and kind of build GPC.
Yeah.
And it's a giant puppet. You did so good with it, and I felt so bad about it that I that I redesigned GPC to be a lot smaller. So she just fits in a bin now. And so it's a
She's
way
so
different
much more
deal
manageable now.
I'm blown away at how user friendly she is now. That's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
'Cause
did
she,
that.
I mean, yeah, she was a bit. I love her. She was a bit of a clunk on the road. Like, and Joel, I don't know if you remember, but her head fell off during a show once in LA.
crazy.
No one was hurt. She was okay, but yeah, she's, you know, traveling is a little trickier for her.
I know when I built the first GPC or Gypsy back in the day, I was just trying to make the biggest puppet possible.
Yeah.
And then over time, if you look at the old shows, the classic episodes, they call them, she just didn't get in enough stuff because she was so big and the bot trench was so small. And so when we did the return, we built that giant scaffolding so she could come down and be in more stuff. And Rebecca got her in more stuff and she riffed in the show more. And that was this is just this story of GPC getting more and more involved and really becoming part of the ensemble. So
can I just say something though, Joe? Like our first tour, Grant Bachoco kind of puppeteered her more because Cynthia was out front of the desk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And then in the second tour, I puppeteered her more. And there was one sketch in Deathstalker 2 where you and I got to puppeteer her together underneath the desk. And I'll never forget the very first, even though we had teched it, the very first show we did together, I was like literally speaking as Gypsy and, you know, pulling her mouth little piece down and tearing up because I'm like, oh my God, I'm puppeteering this with Joel. Now everything is like, every dream has come true. Bye. And then I died under.
Oh, that's lovely.
No, but it's a memory I'll always cherish, Joel.
We all had a good cry that night on the bus.
Well, you cried every night on the bus, though, Joel.
That's right. A lot of times I wouldn't let other people see me cry. You just hear me weeping.
Yeah. And we tried to go tuck you in and you'd just say, look away, look away. Yeah.
I ugly cry. Hey, I wanted to say thanks you guys so much for coming on the show. I'm looking at the time and we're right at 9 o'clock. We promised we'd only take an hour for this. So
great job tonight, everybody. Great job, Yvonne. It was great to finally see you and hear you.
Rebecca.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Great job. Very cool. Hey,
And Joel, you did great too.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to thank everybody who's watching on Facebook now, the wrap-up show. I want to thank everyone who gave us a chance. We just want to do something fun and new, and thank you for letting us do that. And cheers, everybody. Thanks. I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you, Matt McGinnis, for producing this segment. And oh, wait, what about Cheryl? Cheryl, will you come on and say hi? I wanted to introduce you to Cheryl, who's a producer as well. She does so much stuff. Is she around?
What up, McGinnis?
She's coming.
All right, right on. There's Matt McGinnis. Say hi, Matt.
Also, Kevin Smith gave me this. I feel like I need to let people know. Kevin Smith.
That's nice. That's lovely. Hey,
Cheryl.
there's. I wanted to say hi to Cheryl. Cheryl's one of our producers too. She's so important to the vision team at Alterniversal, and it works with Matt and I every single day working on our projects. The book, the comic books, the TV shows, the live tour. She's there every step of the way. So thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Right.
Thank you,
All right,
Cheryl.
I just wanted you guys to meet. I'm saying goodbye, y'all. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See you around.
Be safe.
Bye, Facebook. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Bye. Bye-bye.